Hey, what's up, social media family? Hope everybody is having a really good day. I want to share a very powerful prophetic word. The way I got this whole word was unique. I've never had an experience like this, but this morning, when right before I woke up, so it was like a dream, but I was about to wake up, is I saw a thumbnail. A thumbnail, not a thumbnail, like a YouTube thumbnail. And in the top left-hand corner, in smaller letters, it said prophetic word, and in big letters, it said prepare. That was it. If you're watching this on YouTube, the thumbnail that I have on this video is what it looked like. That's what I saw. Before I woke up, I saw the thumbnail, and then I woke up and I felt the Lord say, get up and pray. Of course, it was about an hour before the alarm was supposed to go off. So I got up and I started praying, and the Holy Spirit just started speaking to me about what the people of God need to prepare for. Now, before we really get into it, understand this. Yes, in about a month we got an election coming up. But that's just not it. There's a lot of things going on. In the economy of the nation you live in, economy is up and down. Markets are up and down. There's always a lot of things going on. But this is a word that we really need to be prepared. Now, probably about 3 months ago, God gave me the word discernment has to be key. Your discernment has to be key moving forward. You have to have discernment at a very high and strong degree. And it's not hard. You just move with the Holy Spirit. If you're accustomed to making the right decision in life with the Holy Spirit, it will be very simple, okay? Now, at the very first of 2020, I was at a conference. And I remember Prophet Chuck Pierce said, there's something coming that is going to shift the world. It's going to change the world. And he gave some very specific areas and things that we needed to be prepared on. I remember I came home from that conference. A few weeks later, you know what happened at the first of 2020. But he said be prepared in a few different areas. Get some business things in line, get some ministry things in line. And he started talking about what he saw coming, and everybody was like, man, this is odd. It happened exactly like he said, prepared. Also, I believe it was Joshua Giles, and I think it was Tome Arome that said something, 2019, even early 2020s about what was coming. And when you listen to prophetic people, you can be prepared. Well, I'm telling you, I saw this thumbnail to be prepared. Now, there's about to be a lot of good things happen over the next 12 to 15 months. I've been saying that something good is going to happen, but also there's going to be some things that are going to shake people to their core, okay? That there's going to be some things that you have to prepare for. So geographically where you live, you have to listen to the Holy Spirit. I remember one day, early 2020, I was at the store, and I just felt the Lord say, stock up. And I'm like, okay, stock up. So I stocked up on some things. Well, we know what happened. Stores didn't have any food in them for a few weeks, different things. We weren't in lack because I heard a word from the Lord. I heard a word from the Lord. I really do believe over the next few months, there's going to be days we have power outages. We're going to have food shortages. We're going to have shaking in the economy. Now in America, right after the election, it's, 2020, 2016, it's just, you're like, man, there's just a lot of uneasiness, a lot of unrest. And when that happens, there's a lot of things that go on that life like normal cannot go on. Okay, this is not a fear word. I'm just telling you, you need to be prepared for what is coming. You need to be prepared spiritually. You need to be prepared financially. Also, I'm an investor. Whenever calamity like this happens, a lot of times the stock market drops. You may need to be prepared to be able to put some money into that, because when things work back out, things go back up. That's one of those things that you hear from the Lord. I remember I like to invest a little bit each week. And for a long period of time, God said, don't invest. And I didn't know why. So I just saved my money. And then one day, just the market dropped really, really bad. And the Lord said, now invest. And I basically bought stuff, what I call on sale. Well, there's a lot of times that God, when I'm going to the store or something, that the Lord will say, prepare. And it was so funny. We were at a store buying some meat one day, and it was like buy extra. So we bought extra. And then like the next week we heard people say, man, this one store that we go to, man, they were like out of almost everything. For like a few weeks they were constantly out. But we weren't. We were prepared. My wife recently, we were at a store and she bought a lot of cases of water, like for our ministry and at home. People, have needs. We want to be able to help meet them. And then right after that, you heard there was a lot of recalls on water. And so you were going, I remember I went to the store one day, there's like no water. And I was like, wow, thank God that my wife, felt the Lord say, buy a lot of cases before all of this happened. And so you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared for a lot of things. And a lot of this word is according to your geographical location, where you live, how things are going to play out over the future. But there's been a lot of odd things. I remember one day my phone would not work for 6 hours. Well, something big happened in the world, and it's like a lot of people's phones just suddenly quit working. Okay? You need to be prepared. Like we have things set up in our house that if something weird ever happens, we have a place that we're all going to go and meet. Okay? We're all going to go and meet at the same place. Talking to different people in our church and, our family, they all have generators, different things. I remember one time I just had this feeling like something weird was going to happen. And then it was like over a 3-4 day period, lots of people I knew, their electricity all went out. Well, deep freezes went out, different things, but I'd already felt something like that was coming. So I was able to tell people to be prepared. This is where you got to tap into the Holy Spirit, because when you do, you're not going to get caught off guard. Okay? I remember one day the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, when you put your weekly check in the bank, hold a little extra out. And I said, okay, I'll hold a little extra out. And so I did. Well, the banking system went down for a few days that week. You couldn't use debit cards. I heard from the Lord to be prepared. So we had to get gas. I went in and paid cash for it. Needed a few groceries. I paid cash for it. We wanted to go eat that night. We paid cash for it. And all these restaurants were like cash only. And I walked in. I'm like, hey man, where's everybody at? Nobody can eat. Nobody has any cash anymore. Everything is debit, but the local banks are out. And so thank God I heard the Lord. This is what I'm talking about. Do not just say, I just had a feeling, but I didn't pay attention to it. A lot of people, they still like wood-burning stoves. And I remember 2 years ago, this guy was chopping wood. And a lot of people like still doing that. Man, I love the smell of a wood fire. And he got done, and he said, this is kind of odd. I'm cut up a few cords of wood, me and another guy. And this guy said, but I wasn't tired, and there was a little bit of wood left over. I just said, for some reason, I'm supposed to cut more wood. Man, I tell you what, that night, 2 people in desperate need contacted him. Hey, didn't you say you were cutting some wood? Do you have any extra? Prepared. Be prepared in this season. This is me. I am super positive. I'm always upbeat, abundance. Things are always going to work out good. But also, I'm a man of God that walks in discernment. And there's a lot of things going on in the world. I'm telling you what, in your city, there's a pressure. In your state, there's a pressure. In your region, there's a pressure. There's a lot of people in power. They don't have your best interest at heart. Look at a lot of things in America right now. Boy, there's a lot of things that's going on. It's a little bit odd. I'll just say that, okay? Don't want my videos getting taken down anymore, okay? I've had plenty of them taken down. But there's a lot of odd things going on, a lot of tragedy, and not a lot of help from where you're supposed to be getting help from. But there's a lot of good people out there helping other people. You need to be a resource for other people. You need to be prepared. This is a strong word from God, okay? I feel like a lot of the stuff I kind of spoke, you got what I was saying on a lot of stuff. You need to be prepared in this season, okay? And for different people, like I was talking to one guy the other day, and he said, I don't know why, but I really kept working my garden late into the year. I usually don't do that, but I feel, and this man got a ton of vegetables. Well, some other people I was talking to, they were like, man, I don't know why, but I just bought like a side of beef. I don't ever do that. And I have a surplus of meat. And different people are buying different types of things. And so there's a lot of people that are prepared. I know a gentleman, he was storing up water the other day. And then there were some people that something odd, we'll say, happened. And there was a part of a city that just couldn't get water. And there was some I'll just say odd things going on with all this. But somebody they knew was prepared. Maybe you don't need to be just prepared for you, but you need to be prepared for others. You know, it's just like my wife and I were ordering more chairs for our church. We're prepared because people are about to get saved. We bought a bunch of Bibles the other day for our church because we're prepared. We know some people are going to come in. They're not going to have a Bible, but they're going to have one. You know, you just need to be prepared for what's going on. I don't know about you, but a lot of my technology stuff hasn't been working like it's supposed to work. It's just kind of odd how sometimes that type of stuff happens. But you need to be prepared. You need to be prepared how you're going to get in touch with your family, how you're going to be in contact with people. You know, if things don't work, I can't tell you how many times, you know, just odd stuff happens. Okay, we'll just say odd stuff. There's tons of stuff I could dive into. This, you know, and the Lord's even spoke to me about do not get distracted when things happen that are not normal. And you know somebody's causing this type of stuff to happen, okay? Don't get caught up in that. You be focused and take care of what you're supposed to be focused on. Now, when this stuff is going on, you're still to build. You're still to build your calling. You're supposed to work in your destiny. Whenever stuff's going on, a lot of people lose focus of their God assignment. That's when you're supposed to press in harder than ever. Okay? I'm telling you, this is a strong word for God. Be prepared. Okay? You know, I just tell people, keep some cash on hand. Keep your pantry stocked. Have you some extra water. You know, just, you don't know what's coming. Okay? Always be prepared. Also be full of the Holy Spirit. I've never in my life seen more people with questions right now regarding the things of Christ. I'm talking church people, that they go to those little fun churches that don't teach the word, so they don't know the word. But you're going to be prepared to teach them. One of the things you're going to find out in the days ahead is the church is not a social gathering. It is a spiritual place, but it is also about to be a place that you're going to have to serve and help the needs at levels we never have in the natural realm. Okay? So I want to share with you today. Strong word from the Lord. Hope it helped you guys. Love y'all. Have a blessed day.